Oh, yeah.
And we are live. Right. Good evening, people. And we have our guest. We have Mark with us tonight. Thank you very much. So it's going to be a bit. Well, no, it's not going to be ranty because I'm not going to say too much tonight. But it is going to be a bit about advocacy tonight. What is going on, and we'll probably descend into talking about the government, unfortunately, because it happens every week. So,
our wonderful government.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if I see one more random article from some random page on Facebook, new developments, vaping is doing this and this and this to your body.
The thing is, you have to take all of those, like before, when Mark came in, we were talking about this. You have to take everything that is in the media with a massive pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Because it's not news anymore. It's not you're watching it and you're receiving, facts. It's what they want you to think.
Not only that as well, it's like these study cases as well. You've actually got to look into these study cases and find out actually who's backing the study. What company's backing the study? And then all of a sudden you find out, I wonder why they came to that conclusion.
Look, it's big tobacco. It's big pharma. Strange that.
Yeah. Or it's, what's his name? The American billionaire ex-mayor of New York.
Bloomberg.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's that man is. The truth be told, that man is so corrupt, it's unbelievable. There's no, but of course you can't prove that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly. Well, I don't care. What's he going to do? Is sue me? What's he going to get out of me? Nothing.
But you've also got to think about as well, it's these anti-smoking companies as well. Your Ashes of this world. Well, for argument's sake, everyone stops vaping and everyone stops smoking. They wouldn't be needed, would they?
Well, no.
Oh, yeah. So they've got to. Smoking rates are going down across the world. We're at the lowest rate of smoking rates ever.
Yeah.
So they're going to be well, we've got to find another villain, haven't we? Or we're not going to have a job. So you've got that as well.
So they villainized the one thing that that's never been a problem.
Yeah, but what they're going to do is what happened in America in the 30s. We're going to end up with a prohibition type thing. And, our government is now saying, don't worry, there won't be a black market.
There will.
It's worked so well in Australia. It's worked so well in Australia.
I hate to tell you this, Mr. Starmer, but there already is one. There already is a black market, and it is already going on.
And it's already got 50% of the pod market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've only got to go on any, and I hate to say this, but usually from the Salford area, Manchester, Birmingham, places of that type, there seems to be a lot of illegal pods coming out of those areas.
Let's face it, they haven't banned. They're banning the actual disposable, but they're not banning the importation.
No.
So if they're not banning the importation,
they're supposed to be clamping down on the importation as well.
Well, the problem with the importation side of things is that it's going to Europe. So things get shipped over from China, come to the UK as a stopping point, and then they moved on to Europe, and that's how it's done.
The thing is, even if they banned importation into the UK, and it's still imported into Europe, people will do what they did with when we all used to buy, dodgy packets of baccy. They will go straight over on the ferry from Hull or your nearest ferry port over to Holland or wherever, buy loads of them, bring them back and sell them in your corner shop. Simple.
And all you need to do is
Here, you find
nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Can I have one of those throwaway like currant lollipops?
You see, the problem, my logic is this, right? We've already got a law that says that if you want to vape, you've got to be 18 plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simple as that, ain't it? That's so simple. You're right. If you want to vape in the United Kingdom, 18 plus. So they're blaming the companies for selling them to kids. So that means that you're not policing this. So whose fault is it actually? Oh, yeah, it's the government's fault that kids are vaping because you're not policing them. It's as simple as that. But instead of the government saying, yeah, it's really our fault, we've not invested into policing this, or even down to the courts, when actually people get caught actually selling to children, oh yeah, we'll not bother because it's going to take up too much time. And that happens more than you realise. The actual come to court and you just scrap it.
You know what the biggest fine's been so far? £229.
I mean, I know for a fact we all know Jenny Sin, when Jenny had her shop in Liverpool, the shop down the road from her was doing exactly this, selling illegal. She reported it, as any decent person would. She reported it, but to customs and trading standards. Trading standards says, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. There's only 2 people to police the whole of Liverpool."
Mm-hmm. I think there's only 4 people in South Yorkshire.
Yeah, I mean, South Yorkshire, one of the biggest counties in the country, and this is the issue, that how you can't expect 2 people to police something that big. It's not possible.
Yeah,
it baggles me. It's sort of like, we've already got a law. The law's already there. It's been in place for quite a long time now.
Yes. Yeah.
We've already got the law. So it just proves that if child vaping is on the increase, that it's not, for over say it is on the increase, then that means that you're not doing your job policing it. It's not the company's. It's not the company's fault that they have produced a device and some kids got hold of it. It's not their fault. It's not an e-liquid company's fault. But that's where they're pushing the blame on, which I think is wrong.
But then the issue has also got to come back to parenting as well. I'm sorry, but it's got to.
Yeah, of course it is. But I mean, let's face it, we live in a society now where it's somebody else's fault.
Oh, of course it is.
Well, yeah.
The issue with the parenting thing, we had like these the 2 cases a while ago, the boy and the girl, both in America. They've got the holes burnt in their lungs due to vaping, blah blah blah, all the scaremongering. And one of them was vaping every 6 minutes. If
6 seconds.
6 seconds, sorry. If you've got a child who's vaping every 6 seconds, we actually worked this out. It meant, what was it? It worked out they would be spending about £250 a day.
We did the math on it, and if you're on the average disposable over here, it was about 14.5 disposables a day.
Yeah, easy.
At $30 a piece.
Yeah. You're telling me as a parent, you wouldn't notice your child spending that amount of money? Because if you're not noticing that amount of money going from somewhere, that's a really, really shitty parent.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Have you been into a teenager's room?
I try to avoid
them. Smell sweet, do they?
I try to avoid them if at all possible. But I mean, and you can say, "Oh well, we all did the same when we started smoking." Most of us probably smoked far before we should have done, and underage.
I was 13.
Yeah.
I was younger, but anyway,
Yeah, but
we
I mean,
all did it. We all did
I mean,
it.
when I was 13, which was in mid-80s, cigarettes were not as anti as it is now.
No.
For starters, yeah, you used to get into trouble if you got caught by a teacher, but it's sort of like you didn't bring it home anyway. It'd be with your mates, and that's it.
Of course it would.
But now it's sort of like, well, how did you get hold of this disposable? Oh, I used your credit card. If that's not parenting, I don't know what is.
I mean, Jesus Christ, if I went in my dad's wallet and took his credit card out and went and spent money on it, what happened after that doesn't warrant thinking about. It's like,
well, put it this way, you won't be sitting down for a week.
No.
Certainly for a couple of days, yeah.
So times that I think parenting is partially to blame. I really do.
I think it is.
But the scaremongering that is going on is just unbelievable. It's ridiculous. The scaremongering we've got going on at the moment.
But the trouble is, the villain has never been nicotine.
No, never has been.
No.
And they're finding it's helpful for kids with ADHD. It helps them focus.
Not that we are saying you should give your children with ADHD nicotine, before anybody says that.
No, but they're medically researching it.
But there are possibilities medically that it could help.
Yeah.
Like you said, with Alzheimer's, dementia, which is, fuck me, that's an evil disease. Things like that. And so on.
Who I am.
We know that nicotine helps brain function anyway.
Yeah.
So I can see in a few years' time what's going to happen is that vaping will probably end up being outlawed. It'll be banned. Possibly. And in a few years' time, the government will realise, we need a vaping sensation device to help people quit smoking. What works? Vaping works. We could try vaping again. And we'll come round full circle.
See, that's where the problem lies. You look at the evolution of vaping as we know it. Roughly, what was it? Beginning of 2000, you can roughly say that's when it's roughly really kicked off. It's not any government that's done it. It's not any health organization that's done it. It's word of mouth. And they don't like that because they can't control word of mouth. And that's where it stems from as well. There's that.
Well, this is what happened with most of us. Most of us had a friend, a mate, whatever, who said, have you tried this? Try vaping, try this. You were offered, to have a try on a vape. Usually coughed your guts up because it was cleanish air going into your lungs. But after a while, you get used to that. Your lungs get clearer after a couple of weeks, and suddenly you think, hold on a minute, I can actually taste food. I can taste drinks. I can, things start to come back to normality.
Yeah.
That hasn't worked with any other smoking sensation device.
If you start going down the NRT side of things, like the push, NRT has a 3% success rate.
Yep.
3%. That's how low it is.
Yeah.
And vaping's at about 40%.
I mean,
it's not higher.
There's obviously you've got the dare I bring up the other evil one, the Chantix tablets.
That's been rebranded to a different name now.
It has, yeah. And we all know how well they have worked for anybody who suffers with any form of mental health or depression.
They're nasty stuff.
Yeah.
They've pushed people over the edge. People have committed suicide down to that drug.
I
But
mean,
if you've noticed with this, with stop smoking prior to vaping, it's always been about the reduction of nicotine.
Always, yeah.
Always been about the. But everyone forgets that either doesn't smoke or doesn't understand smoking at all. It's the satisfaction and enjoyment side of it as well. You've got to consider that. It's not a case of, oh, you are addicted to a substance. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more nuance to actual vaping. Like a lot of the hard, heavy people that smoke and don't give up and can't give up, it's not just about the addiction of the nicotine side of things. It's the actual practice. It's the comfort they get. It's like people who comfort eat or people that turn to drink and things like that. It is that part. There's an enjoyment in it. And because obviously NRTs, yes, you are replacing that nicotine side of things. You are helping with that addiction side of it. It's the enjoyment side of it that the people do miss. It's that sensation. And that's where vaping succeeds every time.
Yeah, it is.
Because you get that enjoyment.
I mean, I still think back there. The 1990s, the World Health Organization and most of the big health bodies were all saying, we need something to get people to stop smoking. Along comes this. And ever since, they've been trying to control it or ban it.
Yeah. Oh, who hates it? Hates vaping. Whose stance is this? It's as simple as this. You either quit or die. Yeah. It's as simple as that. That's their stance.
Yeah.
And the simple reason is because where they get their money from.
Yeah. Yeah. If you work on this, we know that people psychologically rely on the effects of smoking.
Yeah.
If heroin was legal, if everybody was taking heroin as a legal substance, it would be just the same. If you had a heroin replacement that was a legal thing controlled by governments, it would be the same effect if something else came along. This is the problem. What the government should have done if they'd used their brain at the start of all this is said, right, okay, yeah, we'll legalise vaping, we'll make it, yeah, great. We're going to put a small tax on it, a reasonable taxation on devices and on e-liquid. They would have then made money, which they would have covered the people who were quitting smoking. They would have got money in, which, let's be honest, the current government definitely need money in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be faced with the issue we've got now, because that money could have then been ploughed back into the things like the NHS and the giving up smoking schemes. You would have had more people out there with the power to go out and police the illegal vapes. But
see, the problem is when you get lawmakers making laws regarding e-cigarettes, they're out of date. When the TPD came in, there was 4 years out of date.
Yeah.
There were literally the information that they was getting and what they was basing the TPD round was 4 years old. Well, you think about 4 years prior to the TPD, what people were vaping on. Most of them was mouth to lung. Most of them was high PG e-liquids. So so you didn't need any more than a 2 ml tank. 50 ml juice probably lasts you nearly a week.
Yeah.
But vaping moved on.
Yeah.
Because vaping was moving at such a speed, you had the wattage wars, you had big tanks and all that lot coming out. It was sort of like the information. So when you look at it now, the taxing, what's it, £2.20 per 10 mil?
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
a money grab. I don't care what anyone says. That is just a money grab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Because let's
Even
face it,
Shane-
you work it roughly out.
All
By
right,
the time
Shane.
you do all your taxing and everything,
Oh,
because
Shane.
obviously you've still got that 20% tax as
Hey,
well.
Shane.
You're looking
Yeah.
nearly at 50 quid for 100 mil.
I don't care who you are, working, not working, disabled, whatever you are, nobody can afford that. Not in the current situation we're in with this, nobody can afford it. So people are going
So
to
what's
pick the
gonna happen?
easy option.
It's inevitable that two things are going to happen. It's so simple. You don't need to be a scientist to work this out. If you're going to start charging £50 for a 100 ml bottle,
All right, right.
right? Well, actually, three things are going to happen. Stores are going to shut because no bugger's going to go in them.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
true.
for starters.
More
Mhm.
jobs gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many vape shops are going to go bust? Because let's face it, if you don't know, most vape shops don't make money on mods.
No.
They make a little bit, a tiny little. They make their money and they're living on e-liquid.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it wasn't for the e-liquids, they wouldn't be there at all.
Mhm.
So you get rid of you lose all your vape shops. So you're either going to get people that are going to get black market e-liquid, because we all know how to make it. We're not daft. It's not hard to make e-liquid.
Nope.
Mhm.
So it's either going to go black market, so you're going to get bathtub, blooming God knows what in it,
Yeah.
or people are going to
Couple
go
of
back to
pubic hairs
smoking.
as well.
It's as simple as that.
Well, and then you got to go back to the days of worrying about what type of flavorings people will be using in these juices.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
we
Mhm.
created all this. It's got to be TPD compliant. It's got to have this certificate. It's got that. It's got to be a clean room. It's made in all that lot. They're going to throw all that hard work away.
Yeah.
All of it
Yeah.
away.
I
Because
mean,
you
how
can
many
have Joe Blog's
companies-
down pub. Oh, you want some e-liquid? Yeah, I can sort you out.
Oh, I
that.
can do that. Yeah, I know how
Yeah.
to do that. I
I
mean,
mean,
how many
you work it
companies-
out on the importation of nicotine. You can get older nicotine. You're going to have to pay for it. It's probably going to cost you about 400 quid for a litre by the time they finished about it. But you think of a business, Joe Bloggs who lives down, get a few litres of that, mix it. I can sell you some cheapo.
You
And
know
that's
what's
what
going to
happened.
happen? It's going to be like the backy. You're going to have a mate who goes into Europe on the lorries. He'll be bringing nicotine back instead of a packy. He'll bring a couple of litres of nicotine back.
But
Or
not
the-
only that, how high a quality is that nicotine going to be?
Exactly.
Will it be
It
pharmaceutical?
probably
grade?
won't necessarily be pharmaceutical. It'll be agricultural grade.
I mean, I can go down the road to the farm and get nicotine if you really want. I wouldn't want to vape it, but
But it really
So-
kills your weeds.
oh yeah, you won't have weeds
Yeah,
in your lungs.
Yeah, you won't have weeds and you won't have any flies about.
No.
and your lungs will be fucked.
So it just proves that the government is so out of touch with what's actually going off.
But
That
the problem
also really bugs me.
it's the issue you've got is this thing that governments will not listen. They just won't listen to when they're told something. Well,
And this
our
is-
experts say, well, your experts that you've got telling you this are wrong. Plainly,
That's
it's
it.
obvious they're wrong.
The thing is, their experts at the moment are not talking to the Science and Technology Commission. They're not talking to the vape manufacturers. They're not talking to consumers. They're not talking to anybody who actually knows anything about vaping.
You would think, going back to sort of the advocacy side of things, because as much as it's all very well us lot sort of shouting at people watching and saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. Everybody I'm looking at who's in chat has done it. They've all done it. They've all done they've all done all that. They've done everything they can. There's no point in me shouting at them really and telling because they're just gonna go, fuck off. We've already done it.
Yeah.
we need, like we've certainly said before the show, we need the companies to get off their arse and do it. And you think the companies would want to do it?
Well, with the stake they have in the future of this industry, yeah, you would.
I don't know about you guys. When you go to Expo, once upon a time, they used to have people on stage talking
Did you?
about advocacy.
hmm
Yeah.
Especially you did with the NNA
Yeah.
some time ago as well. Yeah.
I think the last time that happened was 4 or 5 years ago. It was got to be before COVID.
It was
Well
before
before
that.
COVID. Now they're not
It was
interested.
before that because nobody was talking about it in 2019.
The last time I remember anybody really talking about it seriously,
2018.
it was Phil and Dimmy. When Phil and Dimmy were on the stage.
I mean, it's like I said to you earlier. You'll go to any vape shop and it should be splattered everywhere what's happening.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Because
you should.
it's like I said earlier, we viewers, people that watch reviews, people that watch like these type of live shows are the 1% of vaping.
Mm-hmm.
Old Margaret that goes down to a local vape shop and buys 10 ml e-liquid for a little pod system, and she's happy, then nips off and does the shopping, hasn't got a clue. Has not got a clue.
But
No.
the problem is,
People that is the biggest, hardest thing for advocacy is getting them people to know what's going off.
when all this goes through and we're paying £50 for like 250 mil or 100 mil, old Margaret is going to say, what the fucking hell, the prices have gone this much. Right, oh, I'm going back to smoking. Guaranteed. They got all of those people are going to suffer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've had people who are in here coming in here in chat saying, well, if it goes that, I'll just go back to smoking. Well, first of all, I'd sooner see you just quit vaping than go back to smoking, because you quit smoking, obviously, and we all did, for our own health.
Yeah.
And going back to smoking is not going to do anybody any good.
No, of course
It
it's
really isn't. But I mean, that's your own personal life. If you want to go and smoke 80 a day, well, fine. That's up to you. It's not my place to tell people what to do.
But you notice these tobacco companies are seeing this coming with all the laws going back and forth. They've raised cigarette prices just enough. I mean, they're not cheap by any means, but they're just at that right price where people are going to, okay, vaping's too expensive. Well, yeah, now you have to pay the price for these cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know,
the issue you've got is, especially
a pack that I used to get years and years ago that was like $4 or $5 is now like 11 or 12.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, but in this country, it's equivalent 22.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I looked at the price of cigarettes, but
No, I can't.
About £14.
I looked a few weeks ago, and Benson's was £18.
Jeez.
yeah, like Shrek just said, £40 for 20 cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's scary.
I mean, if you smoke 20 a day, that, Jesus Christ, it's just horrendous.
What annoys me more than all else is they use emotion against it. So it's, well, you've got to think of the children. And then when you start looking at case studies, it's so like, not really any of them that have actually tried vaping are actual vapors. They've tried it. But let's face it, how many of them have tried alcohol? How many of them tried, wacky backy? How many of them? So like, it's that interment of growing up. You do try things that you're not really supposed to.
Yeah.
Child exploitation.
It's a rite of passage. You hit your teens.
It is.
You want to do
Mm.
all of the stuff that adults do.
Of course you do.
You'll say them all. We
The thing
did.
is, though, is everybody right nowadays in power wants it to be a safe world, whatever that is. You shouldn't do drink, you shouldn't do drugs, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Right? Just fucking when you're in your 20s and teens, you know what?
You're
Go and
invincible.
do it. Go and do it. Because
Mm.
you're in your 20s. Go and do it. You'll soon realise as you get a little bit further along, shit, maybe it wasn't such a shit idea.
Yeah.
Life isn't meant to be safe. If it was safe all the time, it would be fucking boring.
Very boring.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I didn't grow up like that, and I don't want to live my life like that. And as for think of the children, that's why I'd quit smoking, because I was thinking of my children.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm.
and most people quit because they want to see their children grow up
Yeah.
Exactly.
or see, you know, their family growing up, whatever. It's
Well, look at secondhand smoke. How many of us have grown up and known people or had effects ourselves from our parents that smoked with the window hopefully cracked in the car if you were lucky?
Mm.
Not that you had your window down too, because any ash that went out their window was going right back into your window. You know.
Jesus, being in the car with my mum and dad, it was like being at a nightclub, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, with mine.
It's like,
I
But
mean,
what's annoying? We've found a divide. I mean, they've pounded us and pounded us. I mean, we're the kids at 70s and 80s here. They pounded us about smoking. We knew about what smoking does. We knew
Yeah.
about how bad smoking was. And we found an alternative, a safer alternative.
Yeah.
Even the practitioners are saying this is 95% safer than having a cigarette. Nothing's safe. It doesn't matter what you have in your body. Let's face it, your body is not designed to be putting anything in it that you shouldn't be putting in it. We already know that bit. But we have found something that is less harmful than having a cigarette. And you're still not blooming happy.
you've only got to go out of your house and breathe in the air. Cars going past, you've got diesel fumes, you've got petrol fumes, you're breathing in all of that. And most of that contains far, far, far more dangerous stuff than any vape device.
About 6 or 7 years ago, they did a study in, I think it was Philadelphia.
Oh,
They did an air quality test. And they did an air quality test in the vape shop, and then the air quality literally outside of the vape shop. And there was more toxins outside than there were in the vape shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look,
I had a
I remember
trying
once,
to argue about
honestly,
vape
daft
versus smoke.
things, where we've got
Evening,
a
Mike.
big bus station,
Hi, Mike.
and
Mike.
part of it is covered over.
Yeah.
And it's so like there's a road that goes through that the buses drive past.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll have a vape. So I went outside where the buses are, and I was having a vape. Over the tannoy came that you cannot vape in this area. And I had a bloke come up to me. He says, "You can't vape, mate, here." I goes, "Why not?" "Oh, it's not allowed. It's because you vape." I says, "There's a diesel blooming bus parked next to me with its engine running." I says, "And you're worried about me having a vape?" "Oh, I can't help it, mate. You can't vape here." That's how stupid you are.
Yeah.
I remember you telling that. I remember you saying that a while ago. Mm.
It's so, I mean, we've all had it where you get people, you're stood there. I mean, if I go out, I'm vaping on stuff like this. Not big clouds, not like on Max when I go out generally. Not round people anyway. And you get some old dear or bloke stood next to you go, well, they've got a woodbine in his hand, you know, and you're thinking, hold on a minute.
Yeah. I love those when you get a smoker comes up to you there, blows smoke in your face and goes, "Oh, I can't stand the smell of that, whatever that is you're vaping."
Or you get the finger wagging while the fag's in the fingers. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's in it, you know. Yes, I fucking do. I made it.
Yeah. I had
and then-
someone saying that to me when they emptied one of the ashtrays out the top of the bin. Bloody vaping's worse than smoking, as they were emptying the cigarette end so they could make some.
Yeah, that's
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, sounds really sensible.
really much you could say in reply to people like that. You just sort of
No.
Well, I was going to say, with all the additives in cigarettes, did you know there's less than 50% of a cigarette is tobacco?
Mm.
Yeah, you got 25% spider mite, and
A post came up on Facebook. I forget what company it was. It was when cigarettes converted to having tips, and this company was putting asbestos in the filter.
That was Peter Stuyvesant.
Well,
Didn't John Player Specials have asbestos in the tips as well?
Yes, as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And glass fibre.
Yep.
Yeah, they were great for you. They were.
Yeah. Glass fibers when every time you inhale the JPS.
You have people right now going, well, I don't know what's in that vape juice. I'm not putting that in my body. I can tell you exactly what's in that vape juice down to the first
what's in mine.
That's another thing.
I can count on one hand what's in that juice. Tell me what's in your cigarette on one, please.
That's another thing. The time is actually becoming on our side. Well, it's not been going out long enough. Well, yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I mean, how long a study do you need now? I mean, there's people that are vaping like most of us in here. It's so like 15 years.
Yeah.
What length of time do you need to know what vaping is going to do? And it's sort of like another 5 years' time. That's 20 years, for arguing's sake, that a lot of people have been vaping. If they don't know what vaping does to you by 20 years, there's something wrong, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
I mean, are there risks with vaping? Yes. Yes, there are.
There is.
Yeah, there must be.
Should you vape if you've never smoked? Should you vape? No. Stick to just breathing in cleanish oxygen. Don't touch cigarettes. Don't touch vaping. Just keep your lungs as best you can.
Yeah.
But there might be a case for people vaping because it can improve mental acuity. It can improve mental function.
I mean,
but another thing, you look at most of these studies that have come out over the years, and it doesn't matter what study you look at. Most of the people that are vaping used to be smokers.
Yeah.
But they don't take that into account.
Nope.
They only take into account the vaping bit.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. Like Shane just said, most of the people who were smokers and are now vapors, their lungs are not perfect, but they're pretty damn good now.
Yeah.
You know, their lungs are, unless there are other health reasons, obviously, but they're back to sort of pretty good condition.
Yeah.
So the proof is there. The proof is there, and we have had some experts on the side of vaping who are lung specialists, heart specialists, you know, who've said, 95%. Some studies have even said higher than that.
Yeah, 97%.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say, to be safe, I'll just say 90%. You know, if you go to 90%, it's a hell of a lot safer.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's harm reduction. If it was 50% safer, it is still 50% safer than.
And 50% is still much, much better than any of the other alternatives.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
like-
tried smoking them patches. They were bloody horrible.
Yeah.
You get stuck to your
Plastic
beard. mate.
taste.
I
Yeah.
think you're probably rolling them the wrong way, Bill.
I maybe didn't cut them fine enough.
Well, it's kind of like a Muji pad. Did you peel the outside off? Did you leave it on? What did you decide?
Very true, Shane. Nothing is 100% safe.
The problem, let's be right about it. It doesn't matter which country you're in, especially America and the UK and Europe now. All you have to do is follow the money. This
Yeah.
is not a health issue. They're disguising it as a health issue. It's not. It's a money issue. And that's where it all boils down to. Let's be honest about it. It's not the health side. They don't give a monkeys about your health. I don't care what anyone says. They can pretend all they want. They
That's it.
don't give a monkeys.
No,
I'm just thinking back. It's like the satanic panic about heavy metal.
I wonder where he was going with that then.
Yeah, but you remember the satanic panic in the early 80s?
Oh, yes, I remember it well.
Well, the whole nicotine thing now is exactly the bloody same. It's
As any, you look at any society,
moral. It's a pseudo moral panic.
yeah.
It's not
But
really.
you
moral.
look at any society, and we're only an inch away from blooming brimstones and blooming hangings and stakes and everything.
Oh, I fancy it.
I didn't mean that kind of steak. It's all like burn
Burn
the witch.
right out in Whitby, that was.
You're
Well,
not
that's how they
burning
are.
me.
Burn the witch.
You're not burning me. Master, it feels like it because I think I turned my central heating up after I had a bath.
Well, at least you bothered putting clothes on this time, not like normal and came on in your towel and your
And there's no towel in his hair either, so which was quite off-putting. Yeah,
God, we'd
yeah,
have
it was
got
quite
banned for
off-putting that.
one. You got done for that one, fucking hell.
Matt has a thing for calling me just as I've got out the bath.
Yeah.
It's that bad. He's corrupted my daughter, Gwendolyn, now. Wants to put a fucking turban on every time she gets out the bath. Well, yeah, of course it does, Shane. If you listen to metal, it does mean, of course it means you're going to hell. With the arthritis I've got, I'm looking forward to going to hell because arthritis is terrible when it's cold.
Yeah.
I've always said Satan's keeping his seat warm for me.
I'm probably driving the bus there.
Oh, God.
You're going to be the ferryman.
I will be the ferryman, yeah.
Well, I bet the fucker will be late.
Yeah, the trouble is, though, we saw the photo evidence. He tried driving it through a river the other day.
That wasn't me, that was someone else.
It was my twin brother, I swear to God.
Oh,
There has been an incident similar to that.
confession time.
Not by me. By someone else. They forgot to take the handbrake off. And of course the platform, if you open the disabled ramp, it locks the platform. So they have obviously forgotten to put the handbrake on. They've had someone that's gotten off on the using the ramp. It hasn't gone. They've jumped on the ramp with the handbrake off as the vehicle starts rolling down the hill. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So
It was quite a steep hill as well.
next week you'll be on a health and safety course.
No, I think
So keeping on track of what we've been talking about, what do you think about the West Streeting and the flavour ban? Do you think it will go ahead?
I think he'll try.
I'm hoping with everything else he's got going on with the current situation with Putin.
See, it's not going to be.
I'm hoping that comes into it and that puts him off subject.
Yeah,
It's
I'm also
not gonna-
I'm hoping though with the closing of the NHS England as well, that's going to make his life a bit busy.
It's not necessarily going to problem us because we've probably got sufficient enough to keep us going for some time. It's these people that are wanting to start vaping that are contemplating starting vaping.
Yeah,
Well, that's always going to be the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to know the numbers now, how many new vapors are coming in.
As far as I'm aware of, I don't know the exact numbers, but it has plateaued.
Yeah.
It has plateaued for a couple of years now.
it's plateaued at about 5 million vapors.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It,
It's really, it's the people that the stone, I'm going to smoke. They're the ones, the hard ones now.
we were always going to have those. There were always going to be those who said, no, I'm not giving my cigarettes up. I'm going to carry on smoking. It was always going to happen.
I mean, I remember when I first tried to quit, and I'm sitting there. I'd rather smoke a real cigarette than use this electronic. And then you do the research, and you realize the differences and everything else. Then you vape for a couple months, and I can taste things. I can go for a walk and not be winded 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the correct kit. The
Same thing
easiest,
with like,
the easiest bit is getting the kit. It's the hardest bit is getting the e-liquid that you like.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
When you look back, how many liquids did you try before you found something that you could vape all day?
Loads. Absolutely loads. Especially
many
back in the
bottles?
day when there was very limited Hang Seng e-liquids.
Yeah.
How many bottles have we tried at expos and thought that's really nice? Bought a load of them.
And then got home and think,
And then got home.
did I actually like this?
Next up, that. Oh.
Nope.
I just gave that up at expos after a while because you just get blind to the taste. You just it got to a point where I was just like, nope, I'm not buying any liquids.
That's like when Simple Box was around. You get their mystery boxes. Yeah, first one's not bad. Second one, hit that third or fourth one, go, oh my god.
Oh, some of the stuff in those sample boxes was vile.
Original Heisenberg, Mike. I bet
never
you wouldn't go back. You know, I vaped Heisenberg for so long. I went back a while ago for a laugh. I got hold of a bottle of Heisenberg to try. God, it was disgusting.
Oh, never liked it.
They still sell that here at the local shop that I go to.
Well, you're
when I used to work at Vape Shop, we used to sell loads of it. That and Red Astaire, and what was the other one from Zeus Juice? Blackberry. The
blackcurrant one, yeah.
Yeah. No.
No, I've not
Red
really
Astaire
either.
and Heisenberg.
Heisenberg, horrible stuff. But it was a massive seller, that. Massive.
A lot of, I mean, I quit vaping, or I quit smoking using Heisenberg.
Knowing my luck, if they have a flavour band, they'll just keep blooming Heisenberg. And
Yeah, that's all you're getting. It's Heisenberg.
Eisenberg or tobacco. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that ashtray tasting tobacco, though?
Yeah.
You can't have something nice. No, we can't have that.
Yeah, you can guarantee it's going to taste like you just licked the ashtray.
Yeah. It's very old-fashioned RY4.
I don't think it'll be that good.
Well, yeah.
Because they're not allowing it, because RY4's got vanilla in it.
And caramel.
Yeah, so they won't be allowed to put the vanilla and caramel in, will they?
Yeah, it'd be just
Bring you
like
back
a
to the
nice
old
one.
ashtray.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
I think most of us, if we went back to what we quit on now, we would be wondering what the hell were we thinking?
Oh,
And the
definitely.
faff that we had to go through.
Oh God. Yeah.
I mean, you imagine us having, the pod systems that we've got now. I mean, on average, you seriously, as a reviewer, things have got really harder because, to be honest with you, there isn't a bad kit out there nowadays. Not like it used to be.
Mm.
I mean, I used to love reviewing mechs, especially the clone ones, because it was so like, have you seen how dodgy this is? How bad it's been built and everything. So you had something really tangible to review.
Yeah, but Mark, think back though. There was some of the clone mechs were better than the genuine ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
And you're
I
thinking,
still,
hang on, I've just paid £190 for that one. It's dangerous.
I
I've got a
still
£10.
think
I've got a £10 one from China,
Yeah.
and that
We
one's
need-
safe.
we need to find Tyler, the cherry bomber.
It always comes back to the cherry bomb every time.
I need to find one, and if I find it, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to send it to you.
There's a guy that came onto own service years back, and he collected them. He had about 14, 15 of them. He loved a cherry bomber.
They were all right, but my God, they were dangerous if you got them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they were easy to get
lethal.
wrong.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
very easy.
If you tightened one of the screws up just a half a turn too much, which meant the other screw wouldn't tighten up properly,
Yeah.
you had a hard shot on one battery.
Yep.
Oh, that
Now
was
there was an RDA, the Wanko.
God, aye.
with the dodgiest coil ever, because it was that slotted stainless steel coil, wasn't it?
Mm.
Nobody bought the Wanko because it was a good RDA. They bought it because of the comedy value. I'm sorry, that was
Yeah.
it.
It's the only reason.
I remember the first time I saw a notch coil. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they were a thing, weren't they? I mean,
Notch
what were
coil.
it? So my mod, Matt, he was big into that,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, but what was it?
It
A
was
4 or 5 mil ID on it?
yeah.
Unless
It
you're
was
in a tank,
Jabo.
it's not approved to even install it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Jabo who invented the notch coil.
Yeah, that's right, Jabo. Wismerk.
And it was I forgot the name of the tank. It was an RDTA that he put it in, wasn't it?
The
First thing.
theorem,
That's
Theorem.
it.
wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, well, they also did.
brought out the pancake one.
Steady, Shane, steady.
Yeah,
Do you remember
Revo.
that?
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Revo?
Revo, yeah. It were a pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went well, didn't it?
When they
It
had
was
that,
all right. It was all right the first time you juiced it up. You got about one hit off it, and then after that, it was fucked.
Yeah, but
There's
so was,
things-
the theorem, so was the theorem, though. You got one hit off it, and
Yeah.
then that was it.
Oh, Mike, I was a big fan of Noisy Cricket. I've still got about 5 of them.
Oh,
I've got an original. Yeah, I've got an original Noisy Cricket.
Oh, yeah, I've got loads of them. I've even got them. I ended up buying the upgraded button as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
you really got into them.
Oh, I got really into me Noisy Cricket. Love that little thing.
Yeah, but you needed the upgraded button for them to be safe.
Yeah.
They were another
Good.
device.
The
that
Fat
worked.
Daddy wanted it with the Fat Daddy upgrade.
Yeah.
And if you bought the
That
Fat
was it.
Daddy, you used to get the mech as well.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
still got the mech. Oh, man.
Nobody
Yeah, and
seems
if I
to
remember
know.
rightly, the button also fitted the simple mod as well.
Yeah, it did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, the moonshot.
Oh, the one where you were
The
trying to
best
put a
thing
coil
about
in and
them-
chasing it around all day.
Yeah. The best thing about the moonshot was the box. The amount
Yeah,
of
well-
people that modded that box and turned it into a mod.
Mm.
And as for mesh
You
RDA,
couldn't use the
anything
atom.
that- I'm sorry, mesh is fine in a stock coil.
Yeah.
Rebuildable mesh is shit. It does not work. I can't get enough power into a rebuildable mesh. Can't do it.
I think the Steam Crave one wasn't too bad.
Anything above about 80 watts though, and it was like
Yeah, you're not going to get... No.
I just prefer nice big coils, proper coils. And that wasn't
Okay.
advertising for John.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna say, you
all you
can't
have to
get
do is look at the
proper coils now,
thickness
it's
of the
gone.
actual coil. And obviously you can put more power into the thickness of a normal coil compared to a bit of thin mesh.
God, the Griffin.
Oh.
Oh, Mike, you're coming out with some classics now. The Griffin.
Yeah, I bent the deck on my original Griffin. Dropped it flat on one of the smoke H priv. It landed flat and it bent. It didn't bend the deck, but it bent something and it wouldn't wick properly.
Wow.
I mean,
I
you
was
think that,
wondering.
I remember when Smok could actually made decent RTAs and decent mods.
God, that were a long time ago.
And if you go back far enough, when they made mechs.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
yeah, the Arachnid.
Yeah. They weren't a bad mech, to be honest with you.
That was the one you could turn it around and you could put 18650 or an 18350 in.
Yeah.
Got the X Cube.
Oh, blooming heck.
Jesus,
Oh,
Mike,
the R200 wasn't too bad. Because the R200 had the same board as the X Cube.
it all went downhill when they brought the Alien out.
What, the nudist mod?
When all the paint used to fall off.
Your
when you took
paint fell off. Blooming heck.
I tried wrapping one of them, even that wouldn't stay on it.
See, the problem with Smart, they used to always press fit the blooming 510 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you used to get people not taking their tanks off to re-wick them or whatever, and they'd screw it down and keep on, and then wonder why it don't work. So yeah, because it's you sheared up wires off it on the inside.
God, they were so badly made. They really were. They were just nasty, weren't they?
A lot of mods like that, though, weren't there?
Yeah. Hell of a lot.
See, that's the beauty about nowadays. Like I was saying, on average, most mods nowadays, you really can't complain.
You can't. I mean, even stock coils last for ages now.
Well, the days of buying both cartomizers, you buy a pack of 5, and if 3 of them worked, you were lucky.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. For me, in this town though, that was a hellish expensive hobby though, because only place I could get it was a totally ripped off franchise
oh,
where
wait,
they were charging 80 quid for a battery and 2 cartos.
I used to get them from a company called Safer Six.
I used to I started using Safer Sigs, and I got a job beta testing firm because I kept contacting them saying, "You got this problem with it. You got that problem with it.
Hmm.
They're not sealing properly, so they're leaking." And
God, endless mods. I've been gone a while.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have gone. Yeah.
but yeah, what was her name? Dorothy was the owner of Safer Sigs.
I thought you was on about endless mods. Then I was going to say, I'm sure his name.
No,
wasn't
no.
John.
Oh,
No.
Safer System, they were eSig Wizard.
eSig Wizard are still going.
Are they still going?
Yeah,
Blimey
yeah,
heck.
because they've got the vape shops in hospitals in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah, they have, haven't they? Blimey
Yeah.
heck. But you don't see them now, though, do you?
Not much, no. But they were
Another
doing
one
the
was
same.
Liberty Flights as well. I know they're still going, but you
Yeah.
just don't see out
You
of them.
just don't see them.
No? Blimey heck, we are harking back, aren't we?
Oh,
Aren't
just
we
a bit.
just?
See, that's the funny thing. When I started vaping, 6-7 years ago, instead of going from that point on to the new products, I started researching all the old stuff and realizing all the things, where everything came from, where it all, originated from, and all the actual decent atomizers and mods that I completely missed out on.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
face
sure.
it. You
Yeah,
go for your
Shane.
older RDAs, and they're just as good as what's coming out now.
Yeah, totally wicked
Oh, yeah.
is still going,
Yeah.
or totally overpriced, as I prefer to call them. But
Wait and spend 120 quid to buy a smock kit.
Some of the retro mods and that lot are getting serious prices as well for them, especially if you can get a boxed one that's still sealed.
Yeah.
Well, the retro
Oh, yeah.
vaping is picking up.
in that case, Salford's got a whole room full of retro kit. It's still
Yeah.
boxed.
Mhm.
Sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, totally wicked are still going, Shane.
I personally wouldn't bother with Totally Wicked.
Yeah, I know. Totally Wicked is still going. There's a shop near us. Like, I've
Yeah,
never
there's
been in.
They've
I'd
got a shop
agree
in
with you there,
Scarborough.
Mike.
Used to quite often go to the one in Blackburn anytime we were going up to Scotland because the kids were younger. I managed to make it that would stay overnight because the kids couldn't do the full journey at the age that they were. So we'd stay overnight around Blackburn, and I'd pop in there prior to commencing the rest of the journey up.
So you were using the kids even back then to fucking get away with your vape stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, but back then they couldn't rat them out as easy.
Exactly. They couldn't drop me in the shit. Yeah.
They do now.
Bloody right they do.
So do we when the missus walked in the other week.
I may have accidentally
Yes.
on purpose done it.
Accidentally on purpose. Yeah, thank you.
So, out of your retro styling, Tyler, what's your favourite?
I mean, honestly, I went out and hunted down original goons at one point. I found
Yeah.
a small corner shop that had 2 left. Mind you, this is probably 4 years ago or so, and I still paid $60 plus each.
Yeah.
Just trying to find one anywhere. But
Yeah, I've still got me 2 originals, and I've got me 22 as well. Go.
I like the goons. Like Mike said, I love the Twisted Mesa stuff. The way Kent designed the airflow, as far as I get that it was his personal vaping style, but it is for a lot of us too. If you want a real good mech build and everything like that, you want airflow like that, and you cannot.
I've even got
the build
can
deck
you
on
might be able
the
to
so much
still get hold of it. Is the Eclipse cap?
I've got one.
You got one, yeah.
Yep. When they went out of business and he shut his store down over here, I got a Blue MTM 24 Pro, an extra deck, extra set of titanium screws, Eclipse cap, all that I could get from him. A couple Oculas.
They're a bang on RDA. Absolutely. I still use mine. Love them to bits. And they're as good as anything that you can buy today.
And of course, besides, I'll admit this one because Matt will call me out on this if I don't. I do use the Blotto Max still. I do like that one. Besides that, the only Bogan product that I still use, the original Bonza 1.5. I like the build deck. I like the airflow and the way it was designed. I like the older stuff like that. Everything is either over-designed now or there's Ultim inserts in every airflow you try to use.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
There's not been any decent RDAs released in the past couple of years.
Oh, God, yeah. If not more.
I mean, even the original Asgard 30, when that came out, I got one of those. I mean, you're a millimeter this way or that way, the wrong way with your coil, and you just burnt that insert.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's not too bad, the Dead Rabbit Pro.
Yeah, I've got the Dead Rabbit Pro.
Because with that bottom and side airflow on it, it's not too bad. And it's actually got a wall there that lets you get some liquid into it.
Me personally, I'd rather the Max.
Sorry, Mom needs it.
Yeah.
Max, very, very simple. Easy deck to build on. Plenty of airflow.
I prefer that, the Rye.
Mm.
On a very dirty Vindicator.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Matthew.
I call it patina. Other people call it.
Call it what you like. We know the truth.
It needs cleaning. I don't use Max very often nowadays. That's the thing.
So what you want for him should have went down, right?
Hey, you can't talk about keeping mods clean.
That's true.
I polish up the
yes.
candy really well. No, I'll tell you what though. As far as keeping anything that is like a bare metal, highly polished enough where you're happy with it, these TBL mods, I love them. They're really heavy, but you cannot keep them nice for more than an hour because they oxidize immediately.
I look at it this way. As long as your internals are all right.
Yeah, it just means they're not using good marine brass.
Mm.
I mean, you can tell the difference. Like I said, I think I polished these last the same time. It's been a week or two at least. But with pretty much the same amount of use, look at the Kennedy compared.
Yeah.
You know the quality of the metal in that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good metal on them, mate.
And I'm tempted to spend the $110 and get me a Kennedy RDA and just say screw it.
Get a shower cap, Shane. Put it over the fucking smoke detector.
Mm. Open the window.
Yeah, do a mank. Hang out the window and nearly fall out.
Open window. Insert head out window as far as possible.
And take the smallest puff you possibly can.
He certainly is.
On the
The amount of shows I've done on Max safety and the most dangerous person I've ever seen with a mech in their hand is him. Yeah. Without a doubt. Just some people scare me with Max. He's one of them.
Oh, he's not just dangerous, he's lethal.
Like my brother used to say, they're a bomb.
Mm. It is. At the Christmas
show, your brother?
He's not too bad. He's in a lot of pain. He's lost a hell of a lot of weight. And he's still waiting on hospital. They seem to be as slow as oat at the moment. He had a scan, not this Friday, the Friday before. And it looks like his gallbladder is going to have to come out. but they're concerned about some certain part of his bowel as well. So yeah,
Oh,
Not
So-
good.
that's not
no,
good.
he's not good. So Yeah.
Yes, Mike, that one I definitely agree with.
Oh God, when he built that RDTA on the stacked mech, me and Matt were both in chat on that stream with Mr. B, and we're screaming at him.
I think it worked out he was trying to put a 0.12 on a series mod.
a 1-2 on the series.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, but on an RDTA, can you think
Really
of
no.
Can you think of getting it any worse? It was that Vandy Vape RDTA.
What, the pyro?
Or the pyro.
Yeah,
It was a pyro. Yeah,
Yeah, nearly literally a pyro. A pyro fucking.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that
The
was,
lowest I've ever gone
What a
on a
series
series
though,
is a 0.3.
I mean, the lowest I've ever gone was a 0.2. It was 0.27, but that is on the absolute limit of
Yeah, lowest
You-
I've gone is a 3.
0.3 to
And above.
0.35 usually is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but the mod you were using it on though was M21700s. So
oh okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you've got a little bit of safety there because they will handle the current safely.
Even on 21700s, mate, I would still usually only build, like I say, down to a 0.32, 0.3, around that sort of area.
Yeah,
Because that, believe me, that's plenty hot enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a normal mech, I'm around about the 0.07, 0.8.
yeah,
When I used to use just normal round wire, I used to be 0.11. But
Yeah.
obviously, when you have posh coils, you need a bit more of a
Yeah, you do.
yeah.
There's obviously more wire to heat up.
Yeah, that brings up a good point, though. Have you guys seen the new Molly cells that came out?
Which ones?
It might not be new. I mean, I just saw them come up to the site out here. Like 60 amps for 21700.
Yeah.
You're on about
Yeah.
the P45.
Yeah,
45?
No,
P45s,
the
yeah,
P50.
it's the P45s.
Yeah, I've got some here.
Yeah, I've got some.
But
And
yeah,
they're 60 amp, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got
60.
those. That's what's in
Yeah.
here at the minute.
Yeah, the
P45
fifth-
I was wondering how they would
50
do.
amp.
They're not cheap.
50 amp continuous.
really good, really good. They last.
It's like, they want, I think, like on sale, like $10 a battery for them.
Oh, yeah,
That-
easy. Yeah, I saw
that's
them
not
on, what was it? On Fogstar. But every time I keep on going to Fogstar, they've sold out.
Yeah,
I do the same thing as Bill does with Fogstar. I wait until I need a big load, and then I'll go and do like a trade. Do it on trade account
Yeah.
because it makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know, batteries last as long as you don't charge them.
if you don't charge them, they'll store for 3, 4, 5 years with no loss of life.
I normally swap over my full collection every, year and a half? And I'm on a mech all the time.
I think, if you're looking after them, you're being safe and sensible, which most of us are. Although people say, "Oh, you're going below a 0.1 build, you know, it's not safe." Well, when you've been
No,
vaping
we're using-
mix for this many years, you know if it's not safe. You know by the feel of the mod. You know you just know.
Yeah,
And I've never had an issue with a single battery mech. I've never ever had an issue.
No.
but we know what's happening in the battery market, and buy the right
Also,
batteries.
I'm not going to sit here and chain vape a 007 build.
No,
Yeah.
you plus, I mean, you'd cane your throat doing it for one, but
Mm-hmm.
you know when the mod if the mod starts getting warm in your hand, that's a kind of a giveaway. It's kind of
I mean, I vape a lot, but you'll notice I'm rotating through 3 mods.
Yeah.
So that my mod, each one, the batteries, I'll hit it maybe 5 or 6 times, but then it's been put down for half an hour.
I mean, I've always, if I'm building a Mac and it's on an RDA, it's usually a 007 build. If it's in an RTA, on that, it's a 0.11. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've never had issue with it. But the amount of shows we've done where I've said about building safely and battery safety and why not to do it, and whether people listen.
It comes down to who's selling you your product too. Like Matt, when I make coils for you, what did I say about that certain set? I trust you to install them. I trust you to run these. I know what you're going to put them on, but don't hand them to just random people. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, as any coil builder, it's got to be a nightmare if you're building coils for people, because you're going to have people who want a 007 build.
Mm-hmm.
Or lower. I've even heard people asking for lower than that. And they don't understand. People, you don't know what that person, how long have they been vaping? What do they know about battery safety? Do they know how to build an RDA properly?
I had this happen a couple of times when I was trying to sell coils. You'll have people that you could tell they've been vaping just long enough to hear all the fancy names for different builds. And then they come to you, kind of get a set. Yeah, I can get you a set. What do you want them? What specs are you looking for? I want a 18 core twisted juggernaut coil with a hoof in the middle. You want what? Because everything you just said does not go together.
Yeah.
You can get a roll, just round stainless round wire, and build a 007 pair of coils, round wire 007, shove it in a goon or whatever RDA you like using, and it'll give you a good vape.
Well, that's like
I've got Canthil flat wire, 20 gauge.
Yeah.
And they're brilliant. For a mech, so simple, and the coils last absolute ages.
You don't necessarily need. I mean, I build some of my own coils. I do like my own Clapton coils. They're nothing special. They're just simple Clapton coils. All stainless, or maybe stainless and nichrome, depending what mood I'm in. They work.
Yeah.
But it's also knowing about ramp up time.
Yeah.
People don't even think about ramp up time.
Oh, God, no.
It's sort of like, well, you want a super duper, like you were saying, with your juggernauts and things like that. You've got to think about that ramp up time.
Oh, yeah.
It comes down to coil mass, and you've got that mass of metal. It's going to take time to heat up.
Yeah.
It's going to use more power.
So if you're using like single, I mean, I've always been a big user of like 20 gauge or 21 gauge. They're my mech single round wire or flat wire gauges I use. And honestly, they are brilliant. You can get a really good vape from there, but you don't need to go 0.07 because you haven't got the mass. You can go a lot higher. So you can go to a 0.11 or a 0.1, and you're still going to get that kind of vapor as well. And you're still going to get that heat as well. Whereas when you start going into your fancy coils, that's why you want to go lower, because you've got the mass of the actual wire. It takes a hell of you're straining that battery to produce that power.
Well, that's like, you can do staple staggered fuse with the ribbon wire inside of it. Okay. Same resistance as a set of alien. But you're going to use on a regulated mod. I mean, sometimes up to 50 to 70 watts more to
Mm.
get what you want, because it's going to take that ramp up power to get that, coil heated up properly.
And that's when you learn about somebody knowing the knowledge about building.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know the difference between what one coil does and what another coil will do or will produce, if they don't know the difference, then they don't know what ohmage that they really need to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's really, when you think about it, you don't need to know exactly Ohm's law. And I think you can ask most vapors, what is Ohm's law, and explain it to me. And most people can't. They can't, but you don't have to know the actual mathematical equation to work out what you can do and what you can't do. And if you start from the basics, then you can go further. That's how I learned.
I mean, I probably within the first 6 months or so of actually like everyday building, you don't even think about it as ohms all the time anymore. You think, okay, I know what this gauge and this gauge and this gauge do in this many cores and this size wrap, and you know your resistance already.
That's why I love mechs.
And I know it's corny to say it this way, but it's something you've heard for years. It's that organic quality to the vape. That's why I like mechs.
Yeah.
Regulated works for me, especially on something high powered. But if I'm just going to carry around an RDA with a mech all day, that's fine.
Yeah, but everybody now has gone to using a dual battery regulated mod, and then they put an RDA on it. And they wonder why they're not getting the same hit off an RDA as you would off a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not as direct. It's simple. You're never going to get that hit if you use like a dual battery, a parallel build with an RDA, but totally mechanical mod. It hits. It'll hit. I mean, I've got. Not that it gets used much, but I've got that MRM mod. Believe me, that fucking hits because it's totally mechanical.
Yeah.
Everything
And
about
even with mechanical mods, you've also got to think about voltage drop as well. And a lot of people
Oh
don't.
yeah. Well, especially if you don't keep on the maintenance on them. You let those threads go, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This.
And let's face it, no two mods, I should say, no two mechs are equal when it comes to voltage drop.
Nope.
No, I mean, I remember watching Mooch do his testing on mechs for what had the most voltage drop and what was the most direct and which ones would heat up and where. I mean, he put a lot of time and work into all of that to sit there and go, this mech will hit hard. This mech, you will get voltage drop of about 0.3. This one, 0.6. He sat there and he was going through
Mooch was brilliant for stuff. I mean, he used to do thermal camera on it and everything.
Yeah.
Brilliant, that lad.
Found in my pocket.
I mean, it's a pity his work took him away from the vaping scene because he's not doing a fraction of what he did do. But he wasn't making any money because nobody would support him.
No.
Well, it was also the fact that every time there was a live show, you and I would both be in there. And you got the same and I'm going to call them idiots. I'm sorry, but they were idiots.
Oh God!
What mech build should I put on this?
How many times at the end of Mooch's lives did you and I get a thank you off him for fielding all those stupid?
How can I tell somebody what build to put on a mech? How can anybody tell somebody else? What sort of vape do you want out of it? What RDA are you using? What juice are you using?
What type of batteries are you using?
Exactly. All of these things. I can say what you shouldn't do
I was
But
gonna say I
can't
can give you
tell
limitations on the low end of it, but
because everybody has like a desired that hit they're looking for on a Mac. And
I mean, there's 5 of us here, and I bet every one of us vapes slightly different.
oh god, yeah.
oh yeah,
We all like a slightly different. One of you might like it really hot. Another one wants it more flavorful. Some wants, clouds broke clouds. Some don't. But that's the beauty about Mex. You can tailor make it to your own taste. Whereas so you buy a stock coil or on a regulated mod, that's it. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
What am I meant to say to that? Honestly, Stevie.
Shut up, Paul. Take the other leg off.
He'll just fall over again.
but no, like and look at your materials your wires are made out of. They're the preference right there.
Yeah.
90% of the time, I do use only stainless. But if I want to build, something a little bit higher ohm, that's going to be the same kind of size coil, I'm going to grab nichrome or, I don't personally use Canthol, but that's on me.
Yeah.
My
I only use nichrome.
go-to
Occasionally.
is always been stainless. I've always used stainless.
I use both Canthal or stainless on my own builds. Nichrome for everything else.
Yeah. Most of mine's nichrome.
But then you've got people that are intolerant to it as well.
Yeah, but I've got an unusual intolerance. I can't vape Canthal.
Really? I mean, that's quite a rare one, that.
Is it helping?
It's the aluminium in Canthal.
No, Mike. No, we are not turning Steve's leg into a mech. Fuck.
He's not got the carbon fiber one yet, I don't think. Oh yeah, he has. He's got the carbon fiber one. We can do it.
It'd be ideal when you go anywhere. You can't.
Or is that a carbon fiber style sticker?
I mean,
I
you
think
could
the
have
price
it.
it was real carbon fiber.
You could have it so you could like screw your RTA onto where your toe would be, and then you could have like a peace pipe. But hold on a minute, Mike. Are you on about his false leg, or are you on about the leg he had chopped off? Because he ain't got that anymore. And I am not trying to rewire a piece of bone. I'm not sitting here drilling out somebody's leg. Fucking. I'm just going a bit far. That.
Talk about an organic hit. Got a femur mod.
Cutting the threads in bone would be a nightmare.
I remember once there was a mech that was made from a meteorite.
It was.
Yeah.
I know JD Mods, who I got my lipo off, they did one out of mammoth tusk.
Where the hell did they get a mammoth tusk?
Ask the guy who owns it. It was about 1,400 quid, the mod.
No, I bet.
There's been one or two people who've actually made them out of sterling as well, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you've only got about probably the difference between copper and silver. I think it's only about 6% difference.
Yeah.
So the actual cost of the silver, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm.
Expensive.
Well, that's like the Danny B2 over here. The silver edition's like they want like 500 for it for just a dripper.
Nah. I'm not. I've spent a lot of money on mods before, but I'm not spending. No. I hope you asked the mammoth if you could have them first, Mike.
Poor man.
Oh, dear. Got off subject again.
You couldn't ask the mammoth.
Mm.
He's dead.
It might have just been sleeping.
No, we're not going down that world.
Why did you recreate Jurassic Park? Well, I needed some bones to make some good mods out of.
See Mike getting arrested in a graveyard, digging up bodies to get bones to make mods with.
Yeah,
okay.
just pop to the Natural History Museum.
Walking out with a dinosaur leg over his shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. Don't mind me.
I don't know. Not much more that's gone on in the news really regarding the whole the flavour ban, is there? It's
Mm.
No, there's just rumblings at the moment.
Yeah. There's a lot of rumblings, but it's same as there's a lot of rumblings about what they're going to do with disability payments.
They're on very dangerous ground there, I think.
Mhm.
They are.
I mean, what takes the piss more than that is the average living wage is not going up for anybody, really. But the politicians, again, are getting a pay rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, where's that money coming from if you've got this massive black hole that all the money's vanishing into? Where are you getting the money from?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got a big mattress in back of 10 Downing Street. You know.
Mm.
Well, they must do, because all of a sudden they can't afford this, that, and the other. Then next minute, oh yes, we're going to give all this money away.
Yeah, I don't disagree with giving money to help certain countries. But let's help this country before we give any money away. Before you start dishing out millions and millions of pounds or billions, let's make sure this country is sorted first.
Well, it's charities that sort of like are teaching Afghanistans about art.
Why?
Oh, yeah. And there was another one. They did a study to find out about pigs being gay. That's the kind of money that we give away. Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I don't have any issue with whether pigs are gay or not. If they are,
I've got no issue with it, but why should we pay for it?
you know, it's quite all right.
As long as they come cured. As long as they come cured with some maple glazed, I'm not bothered.
I am partial. I had a nice joint of bacon tonight for my Sunday dinner, actually. But anyway, getting off subject.
I think when you think about it, I think it's lovely that the UK does help other people. I think it's lovely. I really do. I think as a country, we should be actually proud of that we do go out and help other countries that are less fortunate than we are. I think that's great. But to a point, when the actual country that's helping another country is suffering, then your priorities need to change.
I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest. The government don't give a flying fuck who this money's going to. They don't care about those people.
No.
It's just so they can say we've done
Hmm.
this. That's all it is. And then we get Keir Starmer's statement about World War III. Don't worry, it won't be a nuclear war. I
No, it's going to be chemical.
I
gonna
feel
be chemical.
I don't know about you lot, but can you? I wish someone could answer this one for me because I just don't get it. Right, we're a NATO country.
Uh-huh.
If we put troops into Ukraine, what are they going to do? What are they actually physically going to do? Because if one of our soldiers shoots a Russian, that means we're in World War III.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Because if you shoot a British citizen, that means NATO kicks in. That
Yep.
means that one gets attacked, that means all of us get attacked.
Yep.
So that's America and the whole of NATO. So
Yep.
what is the point of saying, yeah, well, we're going to put troops on the ground? And if also, I'm not taking sides of anybody here, also, on the Russian side, if you're hearing that the Prime Minister of the UK is saying, threatening that they're going to put troops on the ground, so like, well, why should I go for peace? You're going to be sending your... And that's the whole point. He didn't want NATO on his borders.
Nope.
So I just don't understand it. I mean, if any of you can tell me why.
I don't
I
think
don't understand the threat. The threat seems to be absolutely a waste of time.
there's a lot of threats going back and forward, like posturing. And I think the most dangerous person out of the lot of them is Putin. Because he is the dangerous one. He's been looking to go to war for years. And
Well,
if
we
you-
already know that he wants the USSR basically
Oh, yeah.
back. He wants his territory back that he lost back in, what were it, 91?
yeah,
Yeah.
You can tell that's where he wants.
that's
But
exactly what he wants, yeah.
But also, we're just as bad. And I'm not saying what Putin's done is good or anything like that, but invading the country, no. But we're as bad as well, because we wanted Ukraine and we encouraged Ukraine to want to join NATO.
Yeah.
If we hadn't encouraged that, this war might have been a slightly bit different.
Oh, well, I agree. I think we're in a position at the minute where we've got three dangerous individuals dealing with peace and dealing with it badly, very
Yes.
badly. And it is dangerous because it quite easily overnight go from peace to war.
Oh, yeah.
So quickly.
Oh yeah.
And what the hell are we going to do? We're going to provide troops. What troops have we got left?
Yeah, because let's face it, we can just manage to look after ourselves if we're right.
Yeah, we haven't got any troops.
No.
So how can we send a force? It doesn't exist.
I mean, since going back to 80s, since like the disarmament side of things, Europe as a whole has decreased their military. And all we've ever done, well, we've got our big brother, America. We rely on America. We've got our big brother, he'll look after us. And that's what's happening now. Trump's saying no.
Yeah. True.
He's saying a lot.
He's
I mean, I'm
saying
not
it
sticking
all.
up for Trump. He's a very strange bloke, I've got to admit. But you can see where it's coming from. It's so like, well, no, this is, you can't just rely on us all the time. You've let your military drop and drop and drop and drop over the last, 30 odd years, if not more, 40 odd years.
Oh yeah, it's probably is 40 years. It's got to be.
It's got to be. And we've dropped and dropped and we've laid on his morals all this time. And let's face it, besides the Gulf War, none of us really know of war.
No.
We
No.
really don't. Not in this country.
Mm.
You see, I think.
I mean, we are the generation that's not had a war.
Yeah, we are. If it came to a war, there's a good chance Putin will attack. He's going to go. He's going to try and come through Europe. No doubt.
Yeah.
But the dangerous bit for you, Tyler, well, not you personally, it makes it sound like I'm threatening you with Russia now, but the dangerous bit is that Putin will probably try and attack Russia, try and attack America. And if he does, your wonderful president is going, oh, no, they wouldn't dare. Yes, they would.
Mm.
And they've got the capabilities to quite easily, with the submarines that they've got, to sit off the coast of America and destroy half of America easily.
Yeah.
Just wipe it off the planet.
Oh yeah. I mean, and we've talked about it before, Matt. It's going to come down to the rednecks across the country to do anything.
Yeah, you're going to have a load of rednecks flying around in jeeps with shotguns, shooting at anything that moves. It's going to be great.
Yeah, until the wheel
That'll
falls
sort
off.
out. That'll sort out all the drones that they've got flying in the skies going around.
And I mean, oh God, don't go down that route. Yeah, whose drones are they?
Oh, that's the best part. You hear the media over here. Whose drones are they? Where are they coming from? What are they doing? Well, we don't really know, but we don't think it's a threat, so it'll be okay. You're flying over military bases with these drones and getting live footage of all this stuff, but it's not a concern.
I personally think that is something to do with China somewhere. I don't know.
The worrying thing is these drones are capable of flying through blocking signals.
Mm-hmm.
You had the two ships in the North Sea that collided. Collided accidentally, which looks a little bit more than that now.
Particularly as the skipper of the cargo vessel was Russian.
And most of the crew.
And what he hit was American.
Accidentally. How do you hit something that size accidentally?
In that much water.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It was off my peripheral. Yeah. It's scary to think that these people are determining what our lives are going to be.
The even scarier bit is I noticing the guys in chat are just saying about if there is conscription in this country, well, I'm screwed. There's no way I can be called up for the army because I cannot be trusted with a gun. That would be just a terrible idea.
What are you on about? All of us like being Dad's bloody army.
It's talks out there.
We're doomed. Doomed. Doomed.
Well, we know Craig's going to be out of Dad's army.
Possibly. Doomed.
But if we do, what, like 16 to 20-year-olds and up to 30-year-olds are actually going to fight for this country?
Well, they're talking about conscripting up to 40-year-olds.
It's not going to happen. None of them are going to fight.
Matt, could you imagine a woke army?
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Commanding
One.
I'm
Mince.
offended. Commanding
Mince.
Officer Sam Smith.
Ooh, he looked at me funny.
Oh God.
Do you have this rifle in pink?
Can I have mine in rainbow?
You'll have it somewhere in a minute. Get moving. It's a scary thought. You know, 50 years ago, you would have had people who would have fought for the country. Now you've got people.
Even 30 years ago, you would have.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, nah, not a chance.
Yeah, we live in a weird world. Really is. And you know, something, we've got to a point now that I don't even recognise my own country.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is.
And I'm not being horrible or anything like that. The morals and it's just sort of like, I wouldn't say the younger generation. It's sort of like people have got no respect for anybody anymore.
No.
Well, there's just
Really
a widespread sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
Oh God,
yeah, there's that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Mike.
It is a very scary thought that people who should be fighting to protect their own country and their own people would sooner just give it up.
Mm.
I'll go on a rainbow march.
That's a scary thought. And let's be honest, Tyler, America is not much better.
You know what? That's the funny thing, Matt. If you really put it in perspective, you can't even look at how you could, 5, 10, 15 years ago and go, okay, they kind of do things this way, they kind of do things. Everybody's just making horrible decisions left and right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's starting to come to fruition, and all these years of bad decisions are now hitting everybody.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because literally since the Second World War we've had it easy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we have had it easy.
We've been safe.
Mm.
Especially, I can't say for America, but for
America,
the UK,
America's had it easy the whole time because they've never been
As far as
invaded.
our own borders, yeah.
Well, you've never had a war in your own country.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
You can't count the Civil War because the Civil War was you lot fighting against each other, which is probably what will happen again, to be fair, in America.
I have noticed things that point that way.
There's definitely a divide again between the North and the South in America.
Yeah. You can't really go back to the War of Independence either, because that was basically Brits fighting Brits, with the French siding with
a few Spanish as well.
and the Spanish.
Yeah.
So we had the Brits, the Spanish, and the French kicked the Brits out. That was almost a civil war. That was almost a civil war fought on a foreign land.
But even if you go to a bit more modern, where you go to the Second World War, yes, America was helping Europe, but it wasn't until Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years late, and
that's when the South Pacific battle started.
Yeah. America arrived 2 years late and then sent us the bill.
Yeah, we only finished paying that. What was it? 2011 we finished paying that.
Yeah.
No, 2009.
2000. Wow, how close?
It was Tony Blair made the last payment because he made a big deal of it.
I mean, just look at how much we gave away to America to help pay the bill off.
Mm.
We should have given away Tony Blair while we were at it.
Mm.
I don't.
Well, I mean, you look back. The Manhattan Project was all European scientists went to America,
Mm-hmm.
created the atomic bomb, and then America banned everybody from having that knowledge. So we had to start from scratch.
Yeah, we had to start from scratch.
NASA started by Nazis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now you've got, the Musk funded rockets that are blowing up 15 feet off the launch pad.
Mm-hmm.
What, they get that for that?
I was being generous. The fireball went higher. How about that?
I mean, I
mean,
actually think America is in a worse place than we are, and that's saying something.
Well, you're talking about like the crashes and everything, the random incidents that keep happening. There was randomly, what was it, yesterday, day before, the helicopter crash?
I think it was Friday.
It's like Friday. But guy, single pilot in the chopper, decided he was going to try to fly under a set of like either telephone wires or power lines. Well, guess how that turned out.
Pull up Lisa's comment.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that about sums up. It
does.
It really does. The one that scares me more than that is that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Michael, no.
Mike allowed to carry weapons openly. No, that's scary.
The way it's going,
Made my job easier.
We got to think that we have all these laws that let us carry guns and everything here. But say you're in public and you're concealed carrying and somebody tries to attack you, whatever. If you pull that gun and at any point point it at them and tell them to get away from you or to go this way, go that way, legally they can call it a form of kidnapping because you're against their will, telling them they have to do something under threat of life. So you're trying to attack me and I'm just trying to get you to go the hell away, but I'm going to get put in jail for it.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yes, that sounds a normal type of fucked up law.
Yeah, but the American prison system is is hilarious anyway. It is ridiculous. Our prison system's bad, but the American prison system, wow, what a fucking racist. It is terrible. It's the world is in a mess. It really is in a mess at the minute.
I sort of agree with that one, Shane. The American stealth bomb disguised as a car. Well, ish.
And it's bulletproof, don't you know?
You're all saying if you send EVs to Russia, one thing will happen. They'll be flat.
You won't be able to charge.
Won't be able to charge them because it's too cold.
That reminds me of I had that trip, take my dog and everything yesterday. Well, we drove through Amish country. Tell me why on the back roads of Amish country there's a Tesla driving down the road. I saw this car and went, where the fuck are you going to charge at?
From his diesel generator.
Are you going to pull up to the local horse barn and then plug it into a fucking horse's ass and hopefully you got enough juice to get you home?
Did you check it was actually electric? Or was it
the horse?
Was it a horse-drawn Tesla?
That'd be something to see. I'm not going to lie.
Be more reliable.
That's true.
Cheap as a run.
We don't talk.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's getting a bit like a world of impending doom. It really is. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, Lee.
The problem
world
is
is-
everywhere we look at the moment is doom.
Oh God,
Mm.
yeah.
There is nothing positive in the world at the minute.
There
I mean,
is.
it's positively screwed up.
Yeah, positive. We're all fucked.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's definite.
Meanwhile, you know, the rich people in the world, and I'm on about the super rich, are just getting richer and richer.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Nobody ever
Mm.
said no.
You know, and it's not going to protect them from what's coming. That's what's hilarious. When it all goes wrong, it's not going to protect them. Then you've got the danger of like China as well. People forget about China. They're just sitting there waiting.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And that,
Yeah.
China scares me, to be honest, because people think, oh, the Chinese, they're all behind the times and they're idiots and they're this and that. They fucking ain't. They're far
China,
from it.
China doesn't give a toss about the rest of the world. They've already got all our industry.
China are very intelligent, though. They just sort of sit back. They sit back in the background a little bit, you notice, and they just don't say a lot and just carry on.
But when you think about it, China owns half the world,
Stop.
if not more.
Yeah.
Well, look at just the smartphone market.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, if they can sell one unit at what? Anywhere from a cheap to $1,000 to $1,500 per phone. That probably costs them $50 to make, if that.
If
I
that.
mean, what I will say to that, Shane, about without getting too political, and what you vote is personal choice. What anyone votes is personal choice. I would look into more what reforms say and do before getting too inspired by them. Because they're a typical political party. They're saying what you want to hear.
Well, let's face it, reform, they're too busy blooming arguing amongst themselves.
Stop.
You know, if you believe reform, if we get reform in, every person who's a foreigner in this country will be out straight away. They'll all be out.
Mm.
No, they won't. And
No.
I don't particularly want them all out.
I'm done playing with you guys doing this all the time.
I would like less people coming into this country for
I
the
was gonna
sake
say,
of the country.
yeah. I'd be screwed. 2 of my consultants are foreign.
In that case, send them back. No.
You've got to remember well, that a lot of these people that come from abroad will do jobs that most
Yeah.
of our UK people won't do.
Yeah.
They won't
A lot
do
of the
it.
healthcare, care and
Especially
community
now.
jobs, a lot of them are doing. Yeah, there's a lot over here.
I just think the last thing we need is a party in power. We need a party that's going to be strong, yes.
But also, we are, as a nation, we are so bone idle. Labour got in, and only 33% of the UK voted.
You see, I
That's
didn't vote.
that's how scary it is. I mean, everyone keeps on saying how bad Labour is and all that lot. Yeah, but only 33% of the whole of the UK actually went out and voted.
I didn't
Yeah.
vote, and I'll give you my reasons why I didn't vote. Realistically, what party was there?
There wasn't.
There wasn't anybody
There
there.
wasn't a party.
Mm.
You know, and should I have voted? Yes, I still should have voted. That I should have done. Labour were going to get in regardless, I think. I'm
Mm.
pleased. I'm pleased Reform didn't get in because that would have been worse, in a worse situation. I think that would have been even worse. People moan about the Tory government. You know, people are going to moan about whoever is in. They always will. That's just politics. But I think the Tory government did less damage than Labour have. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think
There was still
Labour-
damage done, but they did less damage.
Labour did less damage, have done more damage in 6 months than the Conservatives did in 14 years, because they've managed to do a lot of damage extremely quickly.
I think the problem with Labour, they wasn't honest.
No,
Prior to the elections, they was saying this, that, and the other, and everything basically that they said they wouldn't do, they've done it.
yeah,
The other issue I have with Labour, and I'm not a Labour supporter per se, I'll quite openly say that, but Labour to me is not Labour anymore.
No,
Labour, the
It's
Labour
not been
Party
it's not been
is-
Labour since blooming Blair.
as soon as Blair came in, he was a conservative with a different shirt on, basically. He wasn't. He's just another conservative. The old Labour,
I'm not giving you donuts for dinner.
real Labour, was long gone.
Get out of my pocket, please. That's
So
Well, I
you
mean,
had a
all you
choice
have
of
to do is actually look at the Labour Party itself, and most of them are university students.
Oh God, yeah.
They're not working class men. They're
No,
university kids.
no.
no, Lisa, you were not voting for you. Jesus Christ, we'll end up with World War III. Oh, I don't disagree with you, Shane. I don't disagree in the slightest. Every time Starmer opens, or any of the Labour cabinet,
And
it's
you
a lot.
noticed whenever he says out, he has to have a notes.
Yeah.
He never speaks to you. It's
Well,
just
it-
pre-script every time.
He can't just talk. He can't talk. He can't say what he's thinking because he has to plan what he's thinking. He is a liar, born liar. I mean, most
Yeah.
politicians are, but
Hey, hang on a minute though. What was his previous job? Oh yeah, he was a lawyer.
Says it all right there.
yeah. And let's not even get into the whole Crown Prosecution Service and that. Let's not go down that route and onto the other side of things.
But that's what he is. He's not even a politician. He's a lawyer.
Yes, it does, Lee.
and I asked you to vote other times.
And I
Thank
mean, lawyers are the ultimate for double talk.
That is quite possible, Shane. He might have a cucumber shoved up his ass. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, on that lovely mental image, I do have to go somewhat soon to get these kids dinner. I don't know if you guys plan on walking over today or not.
Let them starve. They'll learn.
Matthew,
I'm going to have to go in a bit because I'm up at 5 for work.
Okay,
Yes,
right,
same.
as it's over overtime technically anyway. So, yeah, I shall let you guys do your goodbyes, gentlemen.
Tell you what,
Oh,
I'll start.
gentlemen, as in Mark and you three.
I'll start. Thanks, Matt, for coming on. It's been a real pleasure to have you on. I really enjoyed it. It's been good to catch up as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And we'll have to have you back at some point.
Oh, I'd love to. Yes, really
That'd be
enjoyed it.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The group's there if you need us.
Okay. Stop.
Seems to be mainly digs at me posted in the group this week, but hey ho.
Well, I haven't even started yet.
Water off a duck's back. But anyway, if you need us, we're always here.
Ditto.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Mark Solar's here as well. He's like us. He's one of the real genuine people. And I hope everybody has a really good week. And I'll hand it over to our Amish cousin.
Well, thanks, Bill. As always, everybody, thanks for being here. Went by quickly. It usually does when we have, especially a good guest on that we continue to have a good open conversation with. Mark, love having you in, man. I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and talked to you, person to person before, maybe in your chat years ago. But that's probably about I've talked to you. But no, yeah, man. As always, everybody, you know where the group is if you need us. Mark, you're more than welcome back anytime you want to, man. We appreciate having you on, man. And everybody have a good week, like Bill already said. All right, Craig, say goodbyes, buddy.
Yeah, big thank you to Mark for coming on. Big love to Aidan as well. I hope he is going to be feeling okay soon. The group is there. We will be back again next week. I won't because I'm up in Scotland doing my dad's ashes. But apart from that, I should be back the week after. And
Carry on, mate.
I'm not going to mumble what I was going to say, but yeah, the group. The group's there. Hope everyone has a good week. Go on, Mark.
Guys, it's been ace. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been nice, chilled out, and it's been nice catching up, I've got to admit. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself. So, thank you, everyone. That's all I can say, really.
All right.
I'm not big on saying
It has been fun. It's good to have catch.
Yeah.
Really is. Hopefully the advocacy stuff will do what we can and get the news out to people when it comes out. But there is only so much any of us can do. It really is. Like the guy said, if you need a chat about the mental health side, we talked about any of that tonight. But if anybody needs us, you know where we are. Give us a bell and we can have a chat, set a room up. Because I know mental health is probably going on the decline at the moment with everybody, with the world. Even people who don't suffer with any problems, it seems to be affecting them. So, which is probably another show where we'll talk about the way of the world at the minute and the way it's affecting everyone. So, and thank you, Mark. And we shall catch everybody next week, guys. So, ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ta-ra.